Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the welding. Okay. So here in this electric welding, what are the different types of weldings are there? Resistance welding and arc welding. So today we are going to discuss about the resistance welding different types. Okay. So this is our electric welding. Main basic definition of the electric welding is, so here the fusion welding is there. Two types of welding means what? Here adding the two joints or any two parts to be joined. Okay. So by melting any filler material, by using any filler material, you can join two parts or two piece metals. Okay. So this is called welding process. So that is the by using any filler material, any other material. Okay. So that welding process is known as fusion welding. Okay. So that is the fusion welding. So if you are using a high pressure, okay, so if you want to join any two metal pieces by using high pressure, that is no filler material we are using, so that is called solid state welding. So that is the main concept of the welding. So now we are going the definition of the electric welding. It is that the branch of the welding in which electric current is used to produce the large heat required for joining together into form two pieces of the metals. So that is the two parts accomplished by the melting of the two parts to be joined. Okay. Or in some cases you can add any filler material to join the two metal pieces. That is the process of electric welding. Okay. So the main categories of the, before going to the different types of the electric welding, so the main concept of the welding is, the main process is the fusion welding, and that is the solid state welding. Okay. So in this solid state welding, there is no, we are using the filler materials to join any two metal pieces by applying external pressure. Okay. So pressure or heat. Okay. To achieve that that is the coherence, that means welding process. Okay. Simply welding process. So that combined the two metal pieces by using heat energy or external pressure. So that process is known as solid state welding. Okay. So that is the main welding two types. Okay. Fusion and solid state. And the process of main fall into the two main categories are resistance welding and arc welding. Okay. So in this also many types are there. In the resistance welding is there butt welding, flash welding, spot welding, and seam welding and projection welding. And in arc welding also, metallic arc welding is there, carbon arc welding, and atomic hydrogen welding is there, shielding arc welding is there. Okay. So many types are there in the welding types. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the resistance welding. Okay. So resistance welding means heat energy is generated by the electric resistance. Okay. So to a current flow at a junction to be welded. So where the heat energy is generated, so that is in terms of electric resistance to current flow at a junction to be welded. So butt welding means what? So that is the any two points. That means whatever you want to join the two metal pieces by using the electrodes, you can join the two metal pieces by applying the resistance. Okay. So electrical resistance to the current flow at that junction point, that point will be welded. Okay. So that is the resistance welding. And what is the butt welding? So that is the butt welding means here there is a technique to be used to connect the parts which are nearly parallel and don't overlap. So here resistance welding, they are overlap. Okay. So if you see in the butt welding, there is no overlap is there. Okay. So but in the case of resistance welding, there is a overlap, one joint to another joint. So this is like spot. So this is the spot only. So similarly, resistance welding is also, there is a overlap of the two metal pieces. Okay. So in case of butt welding, there is no overlap. Okay. So this is the butt welding. So there is no nearly like they are arranged parallel, they don't overlap. So it can be used to run a processing machine continuously, as opposed to have a to restart such machines with a new supply of the metals. Butt welding is an economical and reliable and way of joining without using additional components. So this is the our butt welding. So here you can see the energy formula for the resistance welding is, for the resistance is the loss heat energy is I square R into T. Okay. So here time during T for is the time during which the current flow in that seconds. I, current in amperes and resistance is in ohms. Okay, so here for the resistance welding, the materials have higher thermal conductivity, and it is very difficult to weld process. Okay, that strength is depends upon the surface roughness and cleanness of the metal surfaces. Okay, and butt welding, see the diagram. So here we are using the moving clamps by supporting, these are the two metal pieces, by applying the force, and you are giving the supply to these two electrodes, and this is the stationary clamp and this is the moving clamp. So by moving clamp you are applying some force, and by giving the supply, and that part is welded. Okay, so that part is welded. So this is, there is a parallel connection is there, there is no don't overlap. Okay, so this is the process, running process, the machine is continuously as opposed to having a restart such machine with a new supply of the metals. Okay, so it is a economical one. So next one is the what, spot welding. Spot welding means what? So some particular point, okay, spot, so that point or spot to be welded. So here it is also resistance type, spot welding is also resistance type welding process, in which the fusion, already I told you. So that is the fusion means what? Some filler material you are filling. Okay, some filler material you can fill, and you can apply the heat energy, that two metal pieces are welded. Okay, so that is the fusion of the um, surfaces, weighing of the surfaces of a lap joint is achieved at one location, and by opposing the electrodes used to join the sheet metal parts using a series of the spot welds. They are widely used in mass production of the automobiles and appliances and metals and other products made of the sheet metals. So here, so for the annual production of the automobiles in the world is measured in terms of that is the tens millions of the units. So that is our spot welding. If you see the diagram, so here particular spot is to be welded. So that particular spot is to be welded by using the fusion material like filler material. Okay. So this is the welding nugget. So the term is called welding nugget. Okay, spot. So by applying the force, both sides that two metal pieces are joined. Okay, so that is the our spot welding. So next one is the seam welding. So what is meant by seam welding? So here we are using some rotating wheels. Okay, so previous case the conductors are rods, I mean electrodes are there, are the rectangular type. Here we are using that rotating type electrodes. Okay, so like uses of the rotating wheels, electrodes to produce a series of the overlapping spot welds along the lap joint, and it can also produce airtight joints. So here main the applications of the seam welding is gasoline tanks and automobile mufflers and various other sheet metals containers we are using. So this is our seam welding. So visualizely you can see the practical application point of view. These are the two rotating electrodes. So in these two rotating electrodes, the whatever we want to join the two metal pieces or any other pieces you can put here, and that to be melded, I mean joined together. Okay, so this is our practical point of view theoretical diagram. Okay, so these are the two sheet metal parts are there, and this is our electrode wheels and the motion of the parts of the past wheels. Okay, so this is our seam welding. Okay, so next one is the projection welding. Projection welding means what? This is also one of the type of the resistance welding in the process in which the coalescence occurs at one or more small contact points on parts. The contact points determined by the design parts of to be joined. So it may consists of the projections, okay, and localized intersections of the parts. Okay, so this is our projection welding. So they see the diagram, projection welding. Okay, so this is the electrode and these two electrodes, and these are the sheet metals. This is our projection point. If you see the, this is our projection point. That projection point should be welded by using welded nugget. Okay, so these are the different types of the resistance welding. Okay, I hope all of you understand this concept, and thank you everyone.